Okay, Friday morning in the kingdom, and it's Chilly Willy again. Yes, just another normal Chilly Willy day. But we have no wind. See that? There's no wind. Not like you guys in the south with those blizzards and stuff. I think that's why I chose to live up here and just freeze my ass off with no wind. Okay, this morning we woke up. Oh, I can't read nothing today. Okay. This morning we woke up to minus 35, but feels like minus 46. Yes, that's warmer than yesterday, but last night when I got up for a pee, the Kingdom weather station showed minus 38 Celsius. Yes, it was chilly. Okay, on the yo-yo scale, minus 31 Fahrenheit. That's a good temperature, but feels like minus 51. Ooh, that's chilly. Okay, Amazon has my 21st book of my writing career, Drilling for Money. Yes, that's when we did all the work with the exploration and drilling for core and all that kind of stuff for 23 years. But I didn't make any money, so that's why it's called Drilling for Money. Okay, it's free as an ebook from January. Oh, I'm thinking warm weather in June. January 12th. To the 16th. 5 days on Amazon, 4 days on Sesame Street. Yes, oh yes, the good old days. That's why we're burning the core boxes into the wood stove, because we never got paid. Oh, unreal. So let's scroll out here or back up. You can hear that sound. That's the door of the wood stove. I didn't shut it all the way, so now it's having a moment to reflect. All right, we'll go this way quickly. Look at that overcast skies. Ooh, we won't be able to get hurt today at work because they can't fly the airplane to come and take us out to the south for the good drugs. Yes, and we haven't seen the sun in a while, but that's normal. And we'll go this way. Hopefully the me phone survives. The smoke is coming out of the chimney and rolling right back down onto me, just like when Mother was smoking the cigarettes. All right. Another gift from California. Oh, this is a flashlight. Ooh, look at that. Now I'm Will Smith. Ooh, look at that. Now your memory's been erased. Oh, look at that. Help me, help me. It's flashing gray. Help me, help me. Oh, but today's going to be a boring day in the shop working on the Curse of Reverse. We allowed 1 week for it to go in the shop to be finished, or break down, or we get mad and frustrated and toss it into the snowbank for another year or something. And Sir Rodney enjoying the booth at the hockey game. That was real nice. Some of us will never be able to see that. I'll be sitting in the, what is that called? The nosebleed section with my snuck in beer and popcorn. $32 for beer and popcorn. Unreal. Oh well. Well, I better go. Here comes the boss. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom. We ran some wires and we got the fan on the wood stove to get some frickin' heat. I find today colder than the other 2 days. Even the dogs, the welfare dogs or the shop dogs or the loader shed dogs, one of them went back into the loader shed because it was warm. He had enough. He thought it was too cold, and usually they're pretty good out. Okay, so we got this thing kind of wired in. We got the old spark plugs up on top of the valve cover there. We got the on-off switch and the resistor. I don't know if it's a ballast resistor or what the proper name is, but it's mounted there. All right, so let's crank it over and see if we got some spark. Okay, turn the master on. Ignition. All right, this is the part where the starter will grind. Well, that worked out pretty good. Also, I like down here, Bill Nile, the science guy. Look at the metal shavings from the drill hole. Look how they turn Viagra. That just stands them right up. Oh, I'm hooked. Okay, I got myself unhooked. Oh, these lips need some more vodka, but we're going to have some lunch here. It's Friday. Yes, and Chilly Willy. Okay, so I grabbed the plug wires that were bundled up and wrapped up, and they're off Kijiji. All right, so I don't know if I've added more of a curse to this, but they seem to be a little long. Looks like I can wrap it around the distributor a couple of times. Also, too, working on a gas motor. I marked it because it's clockwise rotation. Yeah, it's a diesel motor. It's counterclockwise. Yeah, So we learned that on Sesame Street. All right, so after lunch, we got to make the alternator bracket, hook up the headlights, and assemble the carburetor. So we might have voom voom today. We're not sure. Hopefully we do, and then it will give us a reason to celebrate tonight. Oh, wait, do we need a reason? We celebrate every night. All right, let's go have some lunch. Okay, very late coffee in the kingdom because I sat on my bar stool. Oh, where's the bar stool? Oh, okay, there it is over there. All right, just like Norm, and I wish it was like a couple of beer job. So I had to figure out the carburetor because the carburetor sat in a pail of diesel fuel for close to 5 years. So that was just a minor detail. But I had the carburetor off of the TD9, or the T9, known as Zoda. Okay, where's the bag? See, we write it there. So Zoda came in 2018. There's the carburetor. So then I was able to use the carburetor to figure out how the other carburetor went together, because the IH used mostly the same carburetor. And this one over here is close, but not quite, but it's a good parts carburetor. You never give up a free opportunity when you find something in the dump, okay? I mean the garbage dump. All right. So the problem we had was this gasket material, hand and eye coordination, is very dry. And I mean dry. I should have soaked it down with some beer or something. I had a hard time cutting out the gaskets, but I did it because I had no other choice. I was able to trace it out using my colored pen. I think that's the red one. Because those ones write. Anything we buy in black ones now, they don't write. So I was able to fart around and get a gasket, and let's go check it out. Okay, there's the carburetor back on the motor for the first time since 2018. Yes, because when we get things, we take it apart so they can be soaked and well lubed, all right? So I got the gas line strung and everything, and I want it long and flexible because that starter is not going to last another 20 years. That thing will probably be changed every week. You know, that's the new world we live in. Plus, we're not rebuilding them. We're just, how would you say, Band-Aid fixing. So I got the gasket on. I made it good. And then over here, I'm not sure if you guys have that problem, but up here, this is part of the governor control going across. Light seems to be a little bright. Go back a little farther. There. Now we got shadows. Puppet shadows. Yes. Okay. But in here, this condensates for us. So you start the cat, it starts revving up because this is the idle screw. And what happens is moisture forms in here, carburetor warm, gas going up, all that stuff. So it takes moisture out of the air and ices it up. So we have to take this apart all the time and scrape the ice out or shoot in methyl hydrate, alcohol into that. No, not the vodka, okay? But that's what we have to do. So that's a fact of life up here at the end of the world. So we have to make an alternator bracket because we can't try and start it with that on there. But now we planned this because the wheelbarrows are, how would you say, just about out of wood. So now we can dress up, have a coffee, dress up, and go outside in the cold and find, well, get more wood for the wheelbarrows and find an alternator bracket, a long piece, and some few other items to get this thing closed. And maybe put some gas in the gas tank. So we might be able to have, how would you say, an ignition or a boom boom tonight. We're not sure, but it being a Friday night and I worked late 2 nights in a row, I might get distracted and enjoy some beverage. Okay, we had a comment on the YouTube channel there. Okay, asking about these holes in the pad. Yes, we cut a lot of the holes in the pads ourselves because we bring Southern cats up, so they have to have the holes. And the whole idea of the holes is to let the snow escape because the snow will pack in there and bind up the track. So these are factory holes. They're usually larger, okay? So that's a machined cut or whatever, okay? So this is the sprocket. All right, right there, all right. So it will come around, the snow will get packed in here because the teeth of the sprocket are forcing it up. So the snow is escaping through here. Also too, these are what they call skeleton sprockets. Okay, both these items, the snow pads and the skeleton sprocket or the snow sprocket, are featured in the IH parts book and the Caterpillar. So on the skeleton sprockets, they have this hole here. This lets out the snow, okay? So that's the whole idea, is you got to get rid of the snow that packs in here and builds up, okay? Because it will be, how would you say, Snow is very powerful, okay? And when it packs, it makes ice, and then it's strong. So these are the original freighting cats. This cat came with these tracks and the snow sprockets and everything. So we think he was a winter freighter, and he came from just north of Winnipeg. Okay, yesterday we were talking about Viagra cords because it was so cold out here. And then this morning, Sir Rodney's talking about cold weather rubbers. So I think we better get everything straight here. Okay, because there's no way, I'm going to try and do this here. Okay, it's cold. There's the screaming Ford that gave me 15 seconds of fame on Ice Road Trucker, Thor the plow truck. And we'll walk back here. Hopefully the camera doesn't censor me. Walk and talk. Okay, so what Sir Rodney's talking about, these are the glad hands which hook up to the semi-trailer, which is behind the truck. Okay, we don't have a trailer, so just imagine that. All right, so you couple these things in and they kind of lock. You have to put them down and then click like that. Okay, but it's these little rubbers in here that malfunction in the cold. And Sir Rodney's showing in Canadian prices some that are designed for cold weather extreme use. I didn't know that, so I'm learning too. Okay, so I'm running the ones with the full flapper in here to keep dirt and everything out because we're not professional truckers anymore because we're officially retired. All right, now it's too cold. Let's go back in the shop.
Hey, good morning, Kingdom viewers. Rodney at West Trans here. We had a viewer, I believe his name was Carl, yesterday asking about the red and blue glad hand seal. They do make them. Right there. These are not candies, you don't eat them. Right there. Much better than the regular black ones right here. And you can see the regular black one's 44 cents. The high performance one, $1.50. Well worth it, in my opinion. Alright, hope that answers your question. What's up everybody, Sir Rodney here. I just wanted to show you a quick video in case there's any of Joey's Kingdom followers who are more into the agricultural, who maybe don't know what a 13 or an 18 speed transmission looks like out of a highway truck. I'll show you right here. There's your bell housing here. Here's your input shaft. We cut this one open so you can see it. All the moving parts. We got the flippy thingy, shifter. Come around to the back. There's all your plumbing to make everything work. This is called your auxiliary box. That's where all the most expensive and the working parts are. And there you go, your end yoke connects up to your drive shaft, back to your differential. And I'm not strong enough to turn this, but there you go. That's your crown and pinion in there. There's your power divider. There's your lock for your four-way. And that's basically it in a nutshell.
Friday morning in WHO-ville, and it's just after 10 a.m. There was no sunrise or anything like that because of the clouds, and it's still pretty cold. We are in an extreme cold warning right now for the next couple days, so I don't think we'll be doing much in the Kingdom. I gotta go there right before I go to work at 2 and go drop off my dad's supper and stuff, but let's head inside, let the dogs back in, and do some laundry. Almost lunchtime, and I just came out to warm the skidoo up so I can head on over to the Kingdom after lunch and drop off my dad's supper and grab my dog treats and a bag of dog food. Since it is pretty cold out here, I gotta let it warm up for a while. I'm surprised that the electric key start even worked this morning. I was expecting I'd have to pull start it for 20 minutes. Now I'll let it sit here and warm up, and then I can head on over to the Kingdom soon. Forgot to mention in my video yesterday, when I got off work, I walked up and did mail since it was way too cold for the skidoo, and we had 2 things in the mail. I'm not sure what this is, so we'll have to open that up at the Kingdom when I go over there, but these are my light bulbs for the Polaris. Sir Rodney sent them up that day when I asked him about it, and we got them a few days later, so hopefully when it warms up, I can change out the light bulbs, and I'll have some lights again, and we can start doing some nighttime filming. Little after 1 p.m. and I made it to the Kingdom. I had to warm the skidoo up for 20 minutes, but now I'm going to head down to the shop and see what my dad's up to, and then go on back into WHO-ville and get ready for work at 2. Almost 2 o'clock and I made it back from the kingdom. Now it's time to get ready and let the dogs back in and head on up to work. I'm there until 6, but I have a break at 4, so I'll come back and let the dogs out and check my Facebook. Now let's get going. Just after 4 p.m. and I'm on my way back to work. I was only home for a couple minutes to let the dogs back out, and when I get off at 6 p.m. it will be dark, so let's get going. 6 o'clock and I'm just getting off of work. It was a pretty long day of cleaning and doing other stuff around the store, but at least it's over and I actually get to enjoy my weekend. It is still pretty cold out. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, and do the weather. Just after 6 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at today. It's negative 3 degrees Celsius, which is negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It's been pretty cold and we are still in an extreme cold warning, so I'm not sure how long that will last. It actually looks like it's trying to snow now. Let's head inside, let the dogs back in, get my wood stove going, and end my day.
Okay, I got gas in the tank back there. Yes, I was very careful. I made sure the wood stove was dyed right out before I put 5 gallons of gas in the tank. I turned it on and then I watched it. So that means that the carburetor is not flooding itself, so the float actually floats, or it's stuck somewhere. I don't know. But that's a good sign. Then I hooked up a choke thing. Look at that. We got talent. Yes. So I remembered to bring a choke cable in the first of the week when we started this project. Seems how this project's running into overtime and delays. But it did take 1 day to build the lower radiator pipe, and now we got to get the alternator hooked up so this belt doesn't get eaten or anything like that when we crank it over to see if we got zoom. Okay, now to build an alternator bracket to mount the alternator on the side of the motor. Okay, so we have this piece of steel. We're not going to go looking for a specific piece of steel. We'll recycle, repurpose, and reuse because it's under the workbench. I'm not going to go out and freeze my tushy off any more than I have to. All right, because I did that after coffee, doing the video of the glad hands, plus filling the wheelbarrows and stuff, and then getting the gas. That was enough for me at my age. So now we got the alternator there, and we'll make it stick on here and hinge it, and then we'll drill some holes, call it good. So hopefully this works out. If not, we'll be duct taping it on the side of the motor. Okay, 7 o'clock at night and we're almost finished here. Yes, we got the alternator on. We made a bracket to tighten the belt. I think we have to improve on that down there because I will need those vice grips. So the plasma cutter was at its limits cutting this here. Okay, so I lucked out with the hole being right where it was or whatever. Worked out good. So I had to cut it both sides to get the plasma cutter to cut it. All right, let's set the tripod up on the Me phone up on the tripod over there and see if we can get some voom. Well, that was boring. Yes, it fired right up. The float level set too high in the carb or whatever, so it's got a little bit of flow or whatever. So I shut the gas off and I let the thing run out. So tomorrow I'll have to pop the carburetor off and adjust, and we're very pleased. Yes. So this is 2 motors that I've gotten from Nick Graves Tractor Salvage in Zumba Falls, Minnesota. And that's the way Laverne started. I just cranked it over and fired right up. There was no dramas. There was nothing. But that's the way we do things. We don't hype things up. This is common sense. This is normal. I went through the procedure. We have spark. We have fuel. We have crank. We should start and run. And then when it is running, the fan's turning, so it's keeping itself cool. The hydraulic pump was hooked up right down there. So we had actually hydraulic pressure back here. I moved the lever back and forth to chase the air out, because it's been 2017 since this thing last ran, I think. But also too, in the world of social media and stuff, I could have went and dramatized it. Did this guy sell me junk? Did he do this? Did he do that? No, we're discreet. It's common sense, and that's the way it is. Nick Graves Tractor Sales is known for quality stuff. He knew selling me 2 motors and shipping them to Northern Canada, they weren't going to come back to haunt them. You know, they're good motors. He heard them run or whatever. The employees heard it run. They took their time packaging it. And it's the same when we did the promo bike here. Okay. This thing was junk. All right. Sir Rodney assessed it and looked at it, analyzed it. It would take another $10,000 to make this thing run and drive, but there's no VIN numbers on it. So what's the point? No VIN numbers on a custom Harley? You know, and the thieves of Winnipeg wouldn't steal it. So we very discreetly cubed it. Yes, very discreetly. We didn't make a big drama. We didn't get 2 million views on YouTube or the social media, TikTok or anything like that. We very discreet. So here's a product review on a custom Harley, which cost me $42,000. So that's the way we do business. We're discreet, and that's the way we do it. Okay, now we got an excuse to drink, because Cursive Reverse is up and running with his American Ag tractor motor. Yes, that's just so great. We got the wood stove stocked up, but we knew that. And we went through 2 totes of wood. Yes, we've banged off the wood, but these are 2 totes that weren't very good for quality burning stuff. There was just way too much core boxes, which is dry and burns quickly. So we've been mixing it with some other, how would you say, flammables. All right, look at the flags. They're kind of doing something. Well, that looks good. All right, let's go have some victory drinks, some titty vodka, and enjoy. So let's go walk the dogs, drink some vodka. Yes, titty vodka, and make a video. Talk to you later.